Austria, exploring the enchanting heart of Central Europe. A landlocked federal republic, bordered by the Czech Republic and Germany to the north, Hungary and Slovakia to the east, Slovenia and Italy to the south, and Switzerland and Liechtenstein to the west. With a territory of 83,855 square kilometers, Austria has a population of approximately 8.7 million people. It is known for its parliamentary democracy and semi-presidential system, with 9 federal states and Vienna as its capital. Austria ranks among the wealthiest countries globally, with a high standard of living and a GDP per capita around $46,330. It is a member of the United Nations since 1955, joined the European Union in 1995, and is a founding member of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. Austria signed the Schengen Agreement in 1995 and adopted the euro as its currency in 1999. The national holiday in Austria is celebrated on October 26. Austria is largely a mountainous country due to its location in the Alps. The entirety of the Austrian Alps, which are primarily composed of limestone, extends through the eastern, central, and southern parts of the country. Out of Austria's total area of 84,000 square kilometers, 32,433 square miles, only about a quarter can be considered low-lying, and only 32% of the country is below 500 meters, 1,640 feet, in elevation. The western Austrian Alps give way somewhat to lowlands and plains in the eastern part of the country. Austria is situated between latitudes 46 degrees and 49 degrees north and longitudes 9 degrees and 18 degrees east. It can be divided into 5 regions, with the largest being the Eastern Alps, which make up 62% of the country's total area. The Austrian foothills at the base of the Alps and the Carpathians account for about 12%, and the foothills in the east and surrounding areas in the Pannonian Basin make up around 12% of the total land area. The largest second mountainous region, much smaller than the Alps, is located in the north. Known as the Austrian Granite Plateau, it is situated in the central part of the Bohemian Massif and represents 10% of Austria. The Austrian part of Vienna Basin encompasses the remaining 4%. Austria belongs to the Central European province of the Circumboreal region. According to the International Union for Conservation of Nature, Austria's territory can be divided into 4 ecological regions: Central European mixed forests, Pannonian mixed forests, Alpine forests and mixed pine forests, and Western European broadleaf forests. Mountains make up 60% of Austria's land area. Austria is part of the Eastern Alps, with the Tyrol and Vorarlberg regions being particularly known for their mountain ranges, such as the Upper and Lower Tauern, the Limestone Alps in the north and south, and the Wienerwald near the capital Vienna. The Bohemian Mountains, an ancient range, stretch into the Upper and Lower Austria provinces in the north of the Danube and extend into the borders of the Czech Republic and Bavaria in Germany. The Krysia Mountains also extend along the eastern border. In the east, the largest plains are located along the Danube River, including the Alpine Plains and the Vienna Basin, as well as those in southern Styria. The humidity decreases as we move eastward, rainfall, 100 to 50 centimeters. The climate becomes continental on the borders with Slovakia and Hungary. The abundant snowfall has allowed the country to develop winter tourism. The duration of sunshine is about 10 to 20% longer than in Germany, especially in the south. Austria has had a significant impact on various forms of art, particularly in music, due to its past as a European power and its cultural environment. Austria is the birthplace of many famous composers, such as Joseph Haydn, Michael Haydn, Franz Liszt, Franz Schubert, Anton Bruckner, Johann Strauss Sr., Johann Strauss Jr., as well as members of the Second Viennese School, such as Arnold Schoenberg, Anton Webern, and Alban Berg. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart was born in Salzburg, which was an independent archbishopric separate from the Holy Roman Empire, although closely culturally tied to Austria, and a significant part of Mozart's professional life was spent in Vienna. Vienna has long been an important center of musical innovation. Composers of the 18th and 19th centuries were drawn to the city due to the patronage of the Habsburgs, making Vienna the capital of classical European music. During the Baroque period, Slavic and Hungarian folk forms influenced Austrian music. Vienna began its ascent as a cultural center in the early 16th century, focusing on courtly music, including the lute. Ludwig van Beethoven spent the better part of his life in Vienna. The current Austrian national anthem is attributed to Mozart and was chosen after World War II to replace the traditional Austrian anthem by Joseph Haydn. Austria has produced notable jazz musician, Joe Zawinul, who helped pioneer electronic influences in jazz music and was also a notable composer in his own right. The international pop and rock duo, Falco, gained fame in the 1980s, particularly with their song, Rock Me Amadeus, dedicated to Mozart. The drummer Thomas Lang, born in Vienna in 1967, is now a world-renowned artist known for his high artistic abilities and has played with artists such as Jerry Hay and Robbie Williams. Art and architecture. In the realm of art and architecture, one can find notable Austrian painters such as Ferdinand Georg Waldmüller, Rudolf von Alt, Hans Mackart, Gustav Klimt and Oskar Kokoschka, Egon Schiele, Karl Moll, and Friedensreich Hundertwasser, as well as photographers like Inga Morath and Ernst Haas. There are also prominent Austrian architects such as Johann Bernhard Fischer von Erlach, Otto Wagner, Adolf Loos, and Hans Hollein, recipient of the 1985 Pritzker Architecture Prize. Cinema and theater. Sascha Collerat was a pioneer in the Austrian film industry. Billy Wilder, Fritz Lang, Joseph von Sternberg, and Fred Zinnemann all originated from Austria before establishing themselves as internationally recognized filmmakers. Willy Forst, Ernst Marischka, or Franz Antel contributed to popular cinema in German-speaking countries. Michael Haneke gained international recognition for his thought-provoking film studies before receiving the Golden Globe for his critically acclaimed film, The White Ribbon, in 2010. The first Austrian film director to win an Oscar was Stefan Rzowitzki. Several Austrian actors have been able to pursue their careers and have had an impact that extends beyond national borders, including Peter Lorre, Helmut Berger, Romy Schneider, Oscar Werner, and Klaus Maria Brandauer. Hedy Lamarr and Arnold Schwarzenegger also became Hollywood stars, with the latter even serving as the governor of California from 2003 to 2011. Christoph Waltz rose to international fame with his performance in the film Inglourious Bastard, and won the Best Actor award at the Cannes Film Festival in 2009 and the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor in 2010. Max Reinhardt was a master of theatrical productions and a veteran of spectacular stage performances. Otto Schenk excelled not only as a stage actor but also as an opera director. Austria has been the birthplace of many renowned scientists with an international reputation. Among them are Ludwig Boltzmann, Ernst Mach, Victor Franz Hess, and Christian Doppler, prominent scientists in the 19th century. In the 20th century, contributions were made by Lise Meitner, Erwin Schrödinger, and Wolfgang Pauli to nuclear research and quantum mechanics, which were key developments in these fields during the 1920s and 1930s. Currently, Anton Zeilinger is a notable figure in quantum physics, being the first scientist to prove the phenomenon of quantum entanglement. In addition to physicists, Austria has been the birthplace of two prominent philosophers in the 20th century, Ludwig Wittgenstein and Karl Popper. Furthermore, biologists Gregor Mendel and Konrad Lorenz, mathematician Kurt Gödel, and engineers Ferdinand Porsche and Siegfried Marcus are also notable Austrians. The focus of Austrian science has always been in the fields of medicine and psychology, dating back to the Middle Ages with Paracelsus. Prominent physicians such as Theodor Billroth, Clemens von Perkay, and Anton von Eiselsberg built upon the achievements of the 19th century Vienna School of Medicine. Austria has been home to psychologists Sigmund Freud, Alfred Adler, Paul Watzlawick, and Hans Asperger, as well as psychiatrist Viktor Frankl. The Austrian School of Economics, which is prominent as one of the major branches of competitive economic theory, is associated with Austrian economists Karl Menger, Joseph Schumpeter, Eugen von Bombarg, Ludwig von Mises, and Friedrich Hayek. Other notable Austrian-born immigrants include management thinker Peter Drucker, sociologist Paul Felix Lazarsfeld, and serologist Gustav Nossal. In literature, Austria has also maintained its status as a land of artists and scholars, always being a country of poets, writers, and novelists. It has been the home of novelists Arthur Schnitzler, Stefan Zweig, Thomas Bernhard, Franz Kafka, and Robert Musil,